Hi guys, welcome to another one of our sessions on wedding tips and tricks. I'm Haps from Tales of Two, and I'm joined by William from Gracehill venue in Kumeu. So why don't we touch upon sort of a little bit of history on Gracehill?
So Gracehill's works on the backing of the winery that was established in the 1970s by Malcolm Abel. It was known as Abel & Co. Winery. Malcolm Abel was a customs officer who actually confiscated some grape cuttings vine cuttings that were smuggled into New Zealand, and went through the quarantine process required there, and then upon the release of the vines, actually used it to plant the Pinot Noir grapes that you do see here at Gracehill today. And then it transitioned from being a wine growing area into a restaurant back in the 1980s. Then by the mid-90s it was a wedding location as well. The current ownership though, it did change hands, mind you, a couple of times throughout the 80s and 90s, but the current ownership has been here since 2006, and we focus primarily on events, as you now know, with 95% of what we do is actually revolved around weddings now as well.
One of the top questions we've had from a lot of our clients is seasonality. I mean, how far ahead do you guys get booked out, and what's the recommended time?
Well, recommended time, to allow for enough time to adequately plan a wedding, I'd say probably anywhere from 9 to 12 months these days. The quickest turnaround we've done is 48 hours from the time we met a client to 2 days later hosting a full wedding of about 65 guests. So that was a bit frantic, but it's a very rare scenario that something like that has to happen, but it can still be done. We do currently operate with 6 months of summer, 6 months of winter, to keep it easy for everybody. And that is from the start of November through to the end of April. And then May is the start of our extended winter season, until the end of October.
Right, and you mentioned 2 seasons, so does that reflect on pricing as well, of the venue availability?
So just 2 rates at the moment. For a winter wedding, we're looking at $135 per adult for the full package that we offer. In summer it is a little bit more, it is $155. We do focus on smaller weddings during the week, larger ones in the weekend. Capacity here though, average 70 to 80 guests for a wedding, but the maximum capacity for a seated reception is 130. So we do offer pop-up weddings here. I'm not sure if you knew that already. That is in effect 2.5 hours of time at Gracehill for those who just want to do something nice in a nice location that's nice and private, rather than going to the courts or anything like that. So what that means is they get Gracehill for 2.5 hours, which is usually the 20 to 25 minute ceremony to kick things off, followed by 2 hours of canapes, beverages, and 2 hours of time to basically take the bridal party and group photos and things at Gracehill. So the food that we do provide here, it's all in-house. We've got our own full kitchen set up here with our own dedicated head chef and other chefs as well. So everything is made here on site. We are quite flexible in terms of different ethnicities and cuisines and traditional dishes as well, which is a big thing for quite a lot of couples. You know, they do want to find a venue that will actually cater towards their national dishes.
Obviously, a lot of couples tend to bring their own DJs, or they'll have their own recommendation on entertainment. What's your take on that?
So a lot of couples these days, while they do want to have the professional look and approach of a DJ, some also not so much. They're pretty happy just using the systems that we have here already. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but we do have 2 speakers on our gazebo to my right. That's controlled by a sound system inside. For anyone who just wants to have a low fuss approach, put together a playlist, and myself and the team can definitely play that for them on the day. Taking that one step further, they can supply any playlist they like for our in-house systems as well, for the dinner background music and even the dance floor too. But anyone who wants to bring in a band or a DJ as well, we don't have any noise restrictions here, although we also don't want to end up with any too. So we don't allow drums, but apart from that, people can bring in their own bands and DJs as well. So even though we have designed wedding packages that aim to keep everything nice and organized, so very easy to follow, very easy to understand, I don't want people to think that we're limiting them to what's in there. So even though we've got our winter and summer package that includes all the canapes and includes a 3-course sit-down dinner or lunch, even a buffet menu as an option, we do have our liquor license there that allows us to have our own beverages, so that's all there included as well. Bar tabs to cater for that too. All the ceremony locations, everything's all built in, but we do have room to be flexible as well, and that sort of leads me back to working with the clients about their respective national dishes for one, especially adding it to the buffet and things like that. And if people want something in between a pop-up wedding of 2.5 hours and the full reception of 8 hours, subject to availability, we can look to accommodate them.
Thank you for your time, William. We really appreciate it. Hopefully if you found this useful, guys, all the contact details are on your screen for Gracehill, so make sure you get in touch with them if you have any questions or you got an event coming up. Cheers.